Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now you may remember, back in early April of 2017, I looked at Don Bluth's 1997 animated movie, Anastasia, which was Don Bluth's most financial animated movie since All Dogs Go to Heaven, even though that movie was sadly outgrossed by Disney's The Little Mermaid, another great animated film in my opinion. Anyway, to this very day, I still think Anastasia is a great movie, even if several parts are kinda historically inaccurate, as well as dark and intense. I love the movie's animation, the story, the several memorable characters, the voice acting, even the amazing musical numbers by Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens. Also, not many people know this, but the success of Anastasia influenced several toys and books, a Broadway musical in 2016, as well as a computer game featuring the lovable dog Puka and the sarcastic white bat Bartok. Oh, speaking of which, Anastasia also influenced a direct-to-video spin-off where Bartok is a central character. But is it any good? And does it hold up today? Well, let's take a look. Released a video and DVD on November 16th, 1999, the movie is Bartok the Magnificent. Now, let's get started. In this movie, Bartok, an albino bat, along with his bear partner Zozy, have just arrived in Moscow, and they are impressing everybody with their performances, including Prince Ivan Romanov. However, one person who's not impressed is Ludmilla, who finds Bartok annoying and naive. But not long after Bartok's show, the young Tsar mysteriously goes missing, and the people suspect that the witch Baba Yaga may be responsible for kidnapping him. Bartok accepts the job and goes on a thrilling adventure through the Iron Forest in hopes to rescue Ivan and save Russia. So, what are my thoughts on this movie? Well, while it may not top Anastasia, I list this movie under the underrated category. And I kinda enjoy it, but maybe not as much. But anyway, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, this was the only direct-to-video animated spin-off slash prequel that Don Bluth and Gary Goldman were ever involved with. A spin-off movie was devised as Hollywood audiences went batty over the implush Bartok in Fox's 1997 animated musical Anastasia. Chris Meledandri, then president of 20th Century Fox Animation, said, "Once we thought about a lot of ideas, our favorite idea was the one you see." Now, what are my thoughts on the animation? Well, to me, while it's not as good as Anastasia's style, I think it does a pretty good job at capturing the Kingdom of Moscow, and I think the Iron Forest looks very foreboding. Plus, I think the three challenges that Bartok has to face in order to find Prince Ivan seem pretty tough for a bat like him, especially when he's required to accomplish these things without any assistance and without the ability to fly. However, my one flaw with this movie is this talking skull voiced by the great Tim Curry. Now, don't get me wrong, Tim Curry is awesome in all of his performances, but this character is kind of repetitive. Why? Well, in order to get past him, Bartok has to solve a certain riddle, and during his quest, he has to get past the skull about several times throughout this movie. The movie's song numbers were written by Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens, both returning from Anastasia. Plus, they also composed music and lyrics together for Seussical the Musical and Buster and Chauncey's Silent Night. Now, in total, there are 5 songs in this movie, though I only want to talk about 3 of them. First is the title song, Bartok the Magnificent, where Bartok performs a street show for the people of Moscow. And in my eyes, this song feels very whimsical and festive, kind of like the topsy-turvy song from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Next is Someone's in My House, sung by Baba Yaga, and in my eyes, this song is a tad eccentric, though mostly jazzy. And then finally, we have the villain song, The Real Ludmilla, which to me is very theatrical. It has great build-up during Ludmilla's dragon transformation, and it's also underrated. And now let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. Our main character, Bartok, is once again voiced by Hank Azaria, who got to be in Hop, the live-action Smurfs movies, and Happy Feet 2. Now, despite that this movie doesn't really explain how he got involved with Rasputin, I still think that Bartok is a memorable animated character, mainly due to his sarcasm and his Swedish accent. Plus, I think this movie gives Bartok a noble, crafty, brave, compassionate, and loyal side, willing to go through great lengths to save Prince Ivan. Next is Bartok's partner, Zosie, voiced by Kelsey Grammer, whom was in Disney's Runaway Brain, Toy Story 2, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return, and Storks. I like this character too. Not only is he similar to Vladimir from Anastasia, but I like that Zosie gives good advice to Bartok, and I think he makes a good supportive character. Also, I think Zosie is quite experienced with riddles. Next we come to the eccentric witch, Baba Yaga, voiced by Andrea Martin, who got to be in several TV shows like Rugrats, Recess, Jimmy Neutron, Kim Possible, and the 2016 Hairspray live special. To me, Baba Yaga is an eccentric and solitary witch, and throughout this movie, Baba Yaga tasks Bartok to retrieve 3 artifacts from her forest without any assistance, like her pet Pilaf, Obel's crown, and the magical feather. Also, while she does start out very vicious, she later becomes nice, kind, and helpful when Bartok tells her the truth about herself. Plus, I think she kind of reminds me of a witch from a certain CD-ROM game that I've known about but never played during my childhood. Our next character is Baba Yaga's pet, Pilaf, voiced by Jennifer Tilly, who got to be in Liar Liar, 2 of the Child's Play movies, Monsters Inc., The Haunted Mansion, and Home on the Range. In my eyes, Pilaf is a cute, fun, and a perky character, and I absolutely love Jennifer Tilly's voice for her. I mean, it's just so adorable. However, I'm kind of curious how Pilaf managed to get herself stuck on a high boulder. Another character to talk about is the young Tsar, Prince Ivan Romanov, voiced by Philip Van Dyke, who played Luke in the first 2 Halloween Town specials, and he voiced Arnold in Season 2 and 3 of Hey Arnold. Now, due to his Romanov name, I think Ivan may be one of Anastasia's ancestors, though I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, I think Ivan makes a great young Tsar, and I think he was very generous to give Bartok his ring after watching his street show. Finally, we come to the true villain of the movie, Ludmilla, voiced by Catherine O'Hara, whom was in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice, The Nightmare Before Christmas, A Series of Unfortunate Events from 2004, DreamWorks' Over the Hedge, Penelope, A Monster in Paris, and Tim Burton's Frankenweenie. In my opinion, Ludmilla is best described as vain, ambitious, manipulative, selfish, deceitful, devious, and short-tempered. She's completely full of herself, and she believes that a beautiful woman like herself deserves the throne instead of the young Prince Ivan. She also sees Bartok as nothing but a nuisance. Also, Ludmilla is extremely sly, as she was able to kidnap Ivan and frame Baba Yaga for it, and then send Bartok on a fool's errand to rescue Ivan just to get the bat out of the picture. And now let's move on to my final words. overall, Bartok the Magnificent is not really a bad spin-off movie, but not quite a perfect film either. Sure, it may have a few flaws, like the movie not really explaining how Bartok got involved with Rasputin, the talking skull being a bit repetitive, the songs are not as memorable, and the animation not really holding a candle to Anastasia. Still, I think this movie is pretty underrated, and I think Bartok is an entertaining and humorous character who's full of compassion and bravery. And I liked several of the other characters like Zosie, Prince Ivan, Baba Yaga, and Pilaf. Plus, I think the voice acting is great too. So, if you're a fan of Don Bluth, or if you love Anastasia, then you should check this movie out. And for those who don't know, you might find this movie in the special features on the Anastasia DVD or Blu-ray. And trust me, once you start to watch it, you'll be in for quite a fun and magnificent time. I give this movie a 79% out of 100. Well, folks, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time where I take a look at a coming-of-age mermaid movie from 2017, Mustang Power.